Again, it is Wednesday. It's 5 after, of course, so we're here now. We actually had customers, which is one of those things we like to do. We like to help customers and stuff like that. So we were running a few minutes late. Here comes Rob. He's about to join us, and
kind of in the picture.
Yep, come back over here.
All right.
Let's just act like you've never had COVID before, and I want to get it.
Yeah.
So.
All right, we're good.
All right.
That's good.
So, how are you guys doing today? You might as well come over. You might as well get in the whole screen. Man, he's gonna be sitting on my lap in a minute.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like,
that's true.
He's like, I'm happy to see you.
Yeah.
I'm glad to see you came in today, Rob.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks for sharing my lap. So, all right, we are.
Yeah, actually, can you turn that on, Bobby?
Yeah,
Do you know how to do it? Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
we don't even
have
lights.
our lights on.
We don't have lights on or anything.
So it's
Should
just
be-
a knob right there behind, at the top where the ring is.
Yep.
Yeah,
On the
like
bottom
under
side
it.
of it.
Yep, on the bottom side. Right there.
Yep. There we go.
Yep.
All right.
That's good.
All right. We now have lights.
Yeah.
Camera. Action. All right.
Yeah, let's see
go.
if we can see. Oh, yep. You
Yep.
can tell when that light came
Oh,
on.
holy crap. We're
Yep.
here.
Yep, that light is on.
Yep. Well,
Yeah.
how are you guys doing today? If you got any comments or anything, if you want to respond, please let us know or let me know you're here. How much are absolute megas? Wow, we're quick to the point today. That was to our website.
Oh, okay.
If somebody is wondering, we do have absolute megas. They are $125.
That is correct, yes.
We just got them in today.
Yeah,
So,
we try to get in a good amount of lower, reasonably priced.
reasonably priced.
Below
That's what-
$200 football.
Yes.
How about that?
So, and it's getting hard to get that. You know, we know our customer base. We know you guys that purchase off us regularly at our shop, and we've heard you, and we're trying to get in more stuff. I mean, unfortunately, we can't control the market, but we can try to pick and choose our battles to try to get stuff in here for you guys. So
Yeah, so we really want to get into the Fanatics buys tops.
Wait,
some of the.
what are you talking about?
Yes, yeah. It's if you're into cards at all, look at any kind of social media for cards.
Wait, did I miss something?
Yeah, you know that Tops was bought by Fanatics, and we definitely want to get into that because there's 8-9 things that we want to look at with that. Good, bad, whatever. Just some thoughts on that.
Okay, we do have a question on Funkos.
Okay, sure.
One is like, why in the world are you surrounded by Funkos? And I'm like,
Yeah.
that's what my whole shops became.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
literally, I walk in the door and I trip over them.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
we
true.
need to get rid of them. But okay, we have the base price is $14, two for $25.
2 for 25. Yeah.
Which a lot of people end up doing that option. We do have some that are priced higher, in the $20 range and up also. But the majority of the probably 200 Funkos over there are in the 14 2 for 25.
And some of them are brand new. Like there's a Rocky 45th anniversary one that just came out. It's pretty new. And I mean, we were going to talk briefly about stock. We want to get to the Tops thing, so we'll just go ahead and get this over with before we talk about the show. So here's another type of Funko that we've been getting in. So it's almost like a starting lineup type thing. So it's sports related. And here's, just for an example,
Akeem Olajuwon.
We have quite a bit of sports ones. But we also have Marvel ones, Star Wars, everything.
We got Rocky.
Yep, we got Rocky.
Rocky's in here.
Yeah, we got The Witcher Netflix show. We've got.
I don't know what that is, but I guess it's in that.
It's a pretty popular show. So we got that. So and then fan cave stuff keeps coming in. We keep adding to that. So
I would like to get access to your game for $3.
Yeah. Okay. So that's just a sample of that. Here's a little Ohio State decal. It's reusable decal. Makes the little shadow of the
and we have vertical flags.
Yeah,
awesome.
and I actually like how these look. Kind of man cave thing here, and we have this in Ohio State, Cincinnati Bengals, and Cincinnati Reds. So we've kind of covered that. Bowman's Best came in today.
I didn't even know that was in.
Yeah, Bowman's Best came in today. We have a few boxes of that. Here's one of the other cheaper products, $45. Leaf Signature, this year, 2021. Leaf Signature Football, 4 autos per box, and we have some Heritage Wrestling. So we've got a few.
And then we have 2001, 2021. Pro Set Metal Football.
Which is about the fourth time we've
had to restock it.
Yeah.
It's still in around the $200 range. You get 6 autographs and 6 regular cards. Every card is numbered, I believe. It is a very fun break. I opened 2 of them when they first came out. I'll probably open more. Who knows?
Yeah. But. So if you're in the Columbus, Ohio, we'll just jump into that now. If
Southern Ohio.
Yeah, if you're in the Columbus, Ohio, Southern Ohio, and anywhere in Ohio area, I guess this weekend there's a show called the Columbus Sports Card Show, and it's in Hilliard. And if you check out GameTimeSportsCollect.com, I have an event schedule section there. You can see I try to keep it up to date for at least 3 months ahead. Or in advance. So you'll see that show. It's a 2-day show, both this Saturday and Sunday. Some of the dealers pack up Saturday. It's a good show. I will be there. I will actually have some of this merchandise with me, not just boxes. I'll have hundreds of hobby boxes probably, but
hundreds of hobby boxes.
Yeah, a couple hundred hobby boxes, and then we'll have some fan zone kind of stuff and some especially sports related Funkos.
Okay,
I'll take a few of those. But anyway, there's 70 other dealer tables. It's one of the best shows around in Ohio.
It is comparably one of the best shows in Ohio.
Yeah, for sure.
There are shows in Cincinnati and Cleveland and Toledo and stuff like that. But for our, we've been blessed to have a really good show that's continued since we were kids, since the 80s.
It's moved a couple times.
Was vets. It was 4 times.
It
was 4 times a year. Now it's 6 times a year. Yeah. But it definitely still gets a good crowd, and that's our. We're glad we're locally centered. So
yeah. So we'll jump into this Fanatics thing, and if you guys are watching this later,
can I bring up one thing?
Sure.
Okay, in football, we had the passing of a legend.
Yes.
A legend that is weird because he never actually played the game. He came out of college, was injured before he got to play the first game. He became the youngest head coach at the time in the NFL. Coached for the Raiders for 10 years, won 1 Super Bowl, and then became a advertising icon from the 80s. And then, of course, anybody our age or younger has played Madden, all Madden, for years. So the passing of John Madden, 85 years old. We're sorry to hear that. Definitely big fan. Haven't seen him much in the last few years. He was 85 years old, but we're passing our condolences to the family, and thank you for the years that you've given your life to the game of football and forwarding it and making it a fun, interactive sport.
All right.
Okay.
So now we'll jump into the Fanatics deal, and of course, your guys' opinions and stuff. We want to hear them. If you think it was good or bad for the hobby, so we'll start right there, just with that question. And just Bill, do you think it was good for the hobby? You think it was bad for the hobby? And we'll kind of branch off into these different areas.
I would say Fanatics jumping into the hobby, since they were so leveraged already into sports with jerseys and all that stuff, all the other sports stuff related to, was a good thing. Now, I have no problem. We've predicted over the months that they were going to purchase a company like Topps or Upper Deck or Panini to produce their cards, because they already have an infrastructure, and we knew that was going to happen. We just didn't know when. I didn't anticipate it until at least mid next year, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I would say.
I think nobody really did. But after watching the Michael Rubens, the director of Fanatics, saying, they figured out that that keeps them Topps from completely bombarding the hobby with every product under the sun to try to milk as much out of that license before before they lose the license to Fanatics. So we're glad of that. And unfortunately, I still don't think that this is going to help the card hobby level out to a price point that most people are going to be happy with. I mean, it makes sense for them to buy Topps, but I still don't think you're ever going to see prices you did in the not in the 1990s or 2000, but 2010. The prices are not going to go down because they are going to have to recoup money. So you're, but it will be able to bring back brands that people have wanted to see.
Yeah. For the most part, I mean, specifically them acquiring Topps, and like you just mentioned, I didn't really look at that them acquiring it, preventing them from just milking this situation and producing everything under the sun just to try to make every last dollar, squeeze it out of collectors, I guess. That's good that they went ahead and jumped on it and purchased it. I absolutely think it's good that they figured out something, and that Topps is going to continue as a brand. Topps has been a brand through, if this sport's, it's had many ups and downs, but there's been two major waves in this collecting hobby, and Topps was there through both of them. And anybody who collects, who has collected from the 80s and 90s on, if they collect baseball, they want it to say Topps.
Yes.
It is a Topps-driven thing. Anybody and we've talked about this before, about anybody over the age of 50 is more into baseball. If you're probably in your late 30s, 40s, you're more into football, and below that, it's probably more basketball.
Yeah.
And so any of those people were going to, I mean, let's be honest, if you're that age, you're less likely to adapt. And you're less likely to change and kind of change your ways. So that name brand continuing on could only be a benefit to the strength of the hobby. And again, what's good for the hobby and what's good for collectors is ultimately good for any of us who try to do this for a living. Sometimes we get so focused on, well, what's it going to mean for my pocketbook, my wallet specifically. But if it's bad for the hobby and it took collectors out, then that's just, who do we sell to? Who do we? That's our customer base, is those that collect and love this hobby. So ultimately, I think it was good.
Good. That's the question. There's all kinds of questions still. You have the major questions answered. But it's the minor questions. When will Fanatics take over? As we've done research, it looks like they won't until mid this year. So you're talking Series 2 baseball maybe, and stuff like that.
Before it'll be labeled, branded, probably Fanatics.
And Topps will continue to be its own brand. It may be Topps sponsored by or Fanatics somewhere. I don't see them not putting their name brand on the card. But I don't see it, it's still going to be a Topps product. Also we'll be able to see, not so much in baseball because Topps has always done baseball and had the license, but the big thing I've seen in all the announcements is at some point when they take over the basketball and football license, that you're going to finally get to see back your Topps Chrome. You're going to see your Topps Finest basketball. You're going to see all those brands that Topps that you've always wanted. But you're also going to lose your Donners. You're going to lose all your Donners products if Panini can't make it, unless they're willing to come off the license for certain products if they want to continue with them. So
that's true.
Not only with Topps picking up them picking up Topps, baseball, that includes F1, soccer leagues, their contract with Star Wars,
which are growing markets. In the card industry. Those are growing markets.
So those. There are a lot of factors, and then the remaining part of Topps that they did not buy, which was the confectionery, gum, and other products, will be changed to the name the Bazooka Company, and then from that point on, it'll be the Bazooka Company takes care of the confectionaries, and Topps will only be as a company for sports cards.
Yeah. So a couple good news things, I guess, just very brief to mention, is all the reports are saying that basically all the Tops employees, the basic employees working in factories producing cards, are keeping their jobs. So that's good news. That's people that already know how to do this printing, who are already, I'm sure that's some of the bigger shots for the company, and some just average workers.
They would have had to hire all these people in new.
Yeah.
And not know if they can do the job. When you can hire, you already have the people in the positions
who can do it.
So, other than a few changes here and there, I don't think Tops just comes up, because we see previews for the Tops product for like even 2023. We'll see it by mid-year.
Yeah,
they'll have prototypes and stuff like that. So, they're working a year and a half, 2 years ahead. So that's already in the works, So basically, they're just buying the principle to it. So Tops is going to continue running the way it is. The question remains, though, what will they do for distribution?
Yeah, and that's a big question.
Will they continue? Because Fanatics has commented in many videos. We've done a lot of research through YouTube and stuff like that on that. Will they continue to leave themselves open to wholesalers, or to wholesalers to sell, or will they go direct to the shops like Tops had used to? Tops, literally back in the day, in the 90s, you contacted Tops, you wanted to buy it. You would buy Tops by the case, or you'd buy multiple cases, and then for every one case of Tops, you would get like 3 boxes of Tops Chrome, or something like that. So they would base it on how much you're selling, how much product they would give you of the higher end product. That's all changed once you went to the wholesalers, your GTSs, your Peach Trees, your Peach State, your Southern Hobbies and stuff like that. So we would like to see that get back to a more even playing field.
Yeah. So
for the local LCS that just wants to survive.
Yeah. So one thing for sure is that distribution is going to change, and that distribution, there is going to be more products released to direct to consumer. If they're smart about it, which I think these are millionaires who are smart and who have way more business sense than I do. It makes sense to me that you're going to keep your heritage and your basic Tops and those products flowing pretty freely and into the hands of people who are less likely to be comfortable purchasing online, because heritage and those are the people that are attracted to those products are most of the time in their 50s and 60s who are really into that. And so your higher end products and your products that are, a little bit more new or flashy, they'll probably distribute some of those direct to consumer. But in this changing of the distribution, be assured that the allocation thing is basically coming to an end, at least as we know it.
We hope. We've talked about it before, about allocations and all that, but we are glad that some shops get 6 cases of something. I'm glad. I have no problem with that. But for the competitor that's been in it for 10 years, because Rob's been doing this pretty much for 10 years or so.
Probably closer to 15.
Probably closer to 15 years. Started out small, worked his way up. He has more wax than he's ever had before. To one shop gets 6 cases of something, and Rob gets 2 boxes. And to try to, and those boxes are sold before we get them, because we have customers that rely on us. We are their local card shop, their LCS. We hope that playing field is leveled out. Or at least on the first round, at least give everybody a good allocation on the first round, and then if that shop sells their first case within 10 minutes, then they can rebuy multiple cases. But you should at least give everybody the same shot at the same dollar.
Yeah, no, I agree. So, so that's, a couple of things we're talking about. One thing that it's good probably about this, and we just talked about it right before we went live, is, and it took somebody else saying this, but now the redemptions that you're getting from Topps are probably not as up in the air as they were. Because, when you're thinking this company could sell, what about my redemption for this Derek Jeter patch auto or whatever? Now that's probably a lot more solid. I mean, Fanatics is a legit company. Yeah. They have contacts with all these, athletes professionally anyway. Yeah. So, and then this company is going to continue on, primarily anyway. So
I just wish they would get rid of expiration dates on it. Because when I open a box of cards, and I'm supposed to get an autograph, and I get a redemption, and then they're like, I feel bad. A couple years ago, Kobe Bryant passed away. Yeah, a ton of redemptions on his autographs were out there. Yeah. Well, you can't give me a prize. They consider it a prize. Some of the companies, and there's been legal battles about this, and they consider that being a prize. But if it took me 2 years to save up the money to buy that box, and I finally get a good redemption, and they're like, "Oh, it expired." Yeah. Well, it shouldn't expire. If you have it to give to me today, you should have it in 2 years to give it to me also. The expiration on redemptions is ridiculous. You can't give me something and then not give it to me because I didn't get a chance to open it in the time period that you set fit. Yeah. Now Panini's been good about that since they jumped in the hobby more than they were. They have redeemed old redemptions, if at all possible, or at least offered you a credit or allow you to combine some redemptions that weren't able to be filled to get something else. I think that's a much fairer system, where Topps has kind of been like, and Upper Deck did that too towards the end. Upper Deck's like, hey, it wasn't claimed, so now we can use this product as a redemption or to use for other promos, like the national VIP parties and stuff like that. And that, I just don't think that's right. It's, if you tell me you're going to give me a Kobe Bryant or you tell me you're going to give me Garrett Anderson, give me Garrett Anderson. But don't give me a piece of paper that says you're going to give it to me and then not give it to me. Yeah.
So let's just throw out.
Sorry about that. That was my rant today.
Yeah. I mean, you can look and see.
Hey, John, thanks for joining, and Chris and Lawrence.
Yeah, if you can see if there's any questions or comments, but so let's throw out two random questions, completely different, and we'll take them one at a time. Sure. So what would be your thoughts? Is it more or less likely now that Panini falls to the Fanatics machine as far as selling to Fanatics versus not? What do you think? Is it more likely now that this Topps merger's happened and so early, or is it less likely in your opinion? And then I'll say what I think.
My opinion is that Panini is going to balance out and figure out, like Topps, like I just watched the thing with Topps, they talked about it. They figured out what Topps would make over the next 2 years, and basically figured that into the price they purchased it for. If they sit down and are serious about buying Panini, and they suggest, hey, we're going to make X amount of money in the next 2 years, we want to sell you our company for this value plus a percentage of this, I could see Panini doing it, because they're going to lose all sales of football and basketball unless they come up with some sort of rabbit out of a hat, because Fanatics has signed the deals with the leagues and the Players Association. So Panini's got two choices: either pump and dump every product under the sun for the next 4 years, or next 3 years now, or work a deal out to sell to Fanatics, but that also devalues the brand. The Panini, I don't think they have interest in the sticker side, and the other things Panini's in, but the card side, Fanatics would definitely like to purchase.
Yeah. I'd probably go opposite and say I think it's less likely. I think it was kind of unlikely before, and I would say honestly, it's not. It's basically the catch-22 of the situation, I guess, is that not only do I not see Panini wanting to go that route, I don't think that Fanatics feels like they need them now. Because I feel like in 2 years they have that stuff and they can do Topps Chrome like we talked about and that sort of thing. So I'm just not sure that they are going to step up to the plate and pay the kind of amount that Panini's going to want for their products, for their operations, I guess. So, and then the other question, and I don't even know what time it is. We're probably getting close, but I was going to say this other question I have, and it's kind of a new thought too. Who do you think with this Fanatics takeover should be more worried, the local card shop or the breakers?
I would say that and we kind of discussed this right as we went on, and I would say the breakers should be more worried about it, unless they go direct to consumer. If they go direct to consumer, your breakers that are busting 20 cases of something, and they're able to purchase 20 cases, they're fine. Now, if they're forced to be like LCSs, and they're going to be like, hey, we're only going to allow you one case, and then you can repurchase back into it. That's going to hurt your breakers, and and I personally don't have a problem with breakers. I don't think we've really discussed this, but of all the different formats that people have came that are other than your LCSs, the breakers I have no problem with. I understand. It does make sense for you to purchase a team that if you only collect that team. Especially if it's a $2,000 case, but you're able to purchase the team that you particularly like for $50. That makes sense. Now, less making sense is your Razzes, where it's basically it's just gambling. It's literally just gambling. Also, your box breaks where it's like, or your helmet breaks. Those kind of get me too. The helmets and the jerseys, because it's just gambling, And, and
I agree with you.
Those most 95% to 99% of those people are honest, and it's legit. But there are ways to scam the system, and I've heard about this recently. So, but so many people, hey, I sold this many things, but I kept this many. So that's just straight gambling. If you gamble, that's fine. But that's not collecting. Collecting is you're purchasing teams, you're having them open, sent to you. That is collecting. But the other part is just gambling, and so
no, I agree. So I will go somewhere in between. I think that the breakers are here to stay, and they have actually contributed to the hobby. They are part of the reason, good or bad, that the hobby continued to grow and explode, and profit margin went up for those of us who sell boxes. But it's not really a question for me if breakers should be worried that they don't have a job. What should be worrisome is, are they going to be forced to only purchase on the secondary market? Which I could see that. I could see so many of them having to, and let's be honest, most of the smaller ones do this anyway. They go to Dave & Adams, they go to Blowout, they go to one of these online big guys.
I mean,
and try to get a
Steel City, who is a company we deal with. Sean's a friend of ours, I would say, dealt with a good bit. They have a breaker line. Like, you literally can contact them about doing breaks, and they have a special pricing for certain products that they can get to you. That's always a secondary market, though. That's never the firstary market. Dave & Adams does also, all those companies do. So, but none of that is on first round pricing. It's on second round pricing.
It's based on market conditions.
It's based on basic market conditions. So if you are a breaker and you don't have even if you have a firm thing with GTS buying 10 cases of something,
yeah,
and GTS can't get that product,
yeah,
you're in the same boat we are.
Yep.
So, you know, can you still get those 10 cases? Yes. Are you going to be able to make this big X profit on the first cases and then make minimal on the last? Or are you just going to make the minimal all the way across the board?
Way across the board.
And are you going to be okay with doing that? So, that's something that we will find out in the next couple years. You know, it's I think that braking will. I don't think it will stop, but I think all it's going to do is hurt your major breakers, because they're going to have to come at the secondary level, not the first level. So.
Yeah, but and I guess to balance that out, we're all in that position now as this market adjusts, where we're all not. You know, we're not making the profit that we're making. We're going back to making the profit that was normal to make, 10, 15, 20% on a box, you know. And that's where we're all pretty much so headed back toward.
Yeah. So
all right, well, I guess we can go ahead and...
So you're at a show this weekend?
Yep, show this weekend, Hilliard Fairgrounds, Columbus Sports Card Show, one of the best card shows probably in Ohio, probably is the best in Ohio, to be honest. And it's bi-monthly, and if you check out GameTimeSportsCollect.com, we have an event schedule page there that you can check that out, see some upcoming events. And then the very next week is probably the second best show in Ohio.
I would say that the Rob's South High show is the best card show in South Columbus.
It is. It is the best monthly card show in Columbus by far.
Best monthly card show in Columbus.
Yeah, for sure.
If you guys can claim that's wrong, shout out to us. But I'm pretty sure it is the best monthly card show in Columbus.
I would say that in Columbus, Ohio. Also, just if you haven't been to the shop, we're 20 minutes from Columbus, 2,200 square feet.
Yep.
And merchandise added daily.
We have tons of merchandise.
Yes.
We have more merchandise than you could imagine.
Yeah, I got here about a half hour early today and started going through five boxes of stuff
and we have vintage. We have vintage stuff. We have starting lineups out the wazoo. We have a little bit of everything. There's the only thing I would say we're short on would be stuff for girls. Let's just say. I mean, we have Pokemon. We did just start carrying some kind of pandas. What are they?
Fuzzy pandas.
Fuzzy pandas.
I think they did fuzzy llamas before.
Little fuzzy pandas. We have them.
Yeah, we have them.
If you're in the market for fuzzy pandas, we're here.
Yeah.
So, but we do have something for everybody, and we try to strive to that. So, and we're just getting out of our Christmas break. We're now just around the corner from the first of the year. And we hope to get you in here and check us out. So, all right, guys. Hey, thanks for joining this week, and we will see you next Wednesday, 3:30 or 3:35, whichever one we decide to get to. Yep. And for me, for Rob, for Bobby, take care.
Yep. Have a good day, guys.